Hello, it's Jessica, and today's video is just going to be me today, and I'm going to talk about how I met my boyfriend. So if you haven't seen my previous video, I kind of sort of introduced you guys to my boyfriend. So some basic details. His name is Jiho. He is 1 year older than me. And he's already finished his military service as well as graduated from university. So no worries about the differences there. Side note, if you didn't know, every male, Korean male has to do, I think it's about 1.5 years of military service. And I think there's a deadline on how long they have to wait. I believe maybe in their late 30s. They have to have that military service completed by then. But yeah, so that's a little information about Korean culture just tucked in there. So I made a list of like our timeline of what things happened. So in the previous video I mentioned that we met on Tinder, and that it was my first time downloading any kind of dating app. So I had just downloaded Tinder for the first time ever. First week of April, I believe. And then I started talking with Jiho the following week. So I think April 6th is our first message. So that's, we started talking there, and continue to talk every day, all day. And then on April 16th, I decided to ask if we could switch to messaging through Kakao instead of through the Tinder app, because it was easier to use, since I was using it every day to talk to all of my other friends. So it was just easier to keep one app instead of going back and forth from the Kakao app and the Tinder app. So Kakao is also, if you don't know, it's kind of similar to Facebook's Messenger app. It's just a messaging app with a lot of stickers, and it's really common here in Korea. Most people use the Kakao app more than their messaging service through their phone. So I did that. We did that in April 16th. And we continued to talk every day, all day. And then the next big thing that happened was our first meeting, which was May 2nd. And I believe during this time, it was the beginning of a long holiday weekend for us government workers. We had some Korean holidays, and I believe my school had decided to take what's called a sandwich day out. So I had a holiday, and then the weekend, and then holiday on the next Monday. So we got that Friday or Thursday, I'm not quite sure, it was a while ago. We got that day off as well. So I had about almost a week, I think, of vacation just because of holidays. And so I had decided to go to Gwangju, which I've mentioned before in previous videos. It's the big city, one of the biggest cities near where I live. It's about an hour drive by bus. So I went there this is before the virus was getting too crazy. And again, that was May 2nd. I went to Gwangju to meet with some of my Korean friends who live in Gwangju, and I also went with one of my foreigner friends from here in Mokpo. So I went there. That was the original plan, and then we messaged and told him I was going to Gwangju, and then that was where he was staying at. He has his family has 2 houses, one in Gwangju and one in his hometown Bosong, which is a really small city, I believe, and it's known for green tea. So if you look it up, you will, if you just look up city known for green tea in Jeollanam-do, you will see Bosong. So yeah, he was in Gwangju at that time, and so we met up. My foreigner friend, me, and Jiho, we met up, and then we just had a good time. We went to board game cafe, and believe we also went to eat dinner at this really nice place. If you are going to be in Korea and in Gwangju, I recommend it. It's called The First Alleyway Restaurant, and it's in downtown Gwangju, and it's very has a westernized feeling. It feels like you're back in America when you go there. It's really nice. So again, First Alleyway is perfect. So we went there to eat, and then I believe afterwards us 3, we went to noraebang, so a karaoke room. And then afterwards, we weren't sure if Jiho was gonna join us for the rest of the night or not. And he decided he was. And then my foreigner friend from Mokpo, she had decided she was getting a little tired, so she wanted to go back to Mokpo. And so she left us, and then Jiho and I went to meet with my Korean friends at the bar called Thursday Party. So that was a little awkward, but my foreigner friend decided, she got to the bus terminal and unfortunately missed the last bus to Mokpo. This was probably around 11 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m., something along those lines. And then she came back to join us because I had gotten a room at the hotel because I knew I was going to be out all night with my Korean friends, and usually I just get a room and leave my bags and stuff there and change if needed, and then after hanging out with friends I wait until the first bus back to Mokpo and then go there. So I told her if she wanted, she could just go to the hotel and go to sleep, or if she had some energy, she could come join us at the bar and drink a little bit. She decided to join us at the bar, so that was nice. But yeah, that was a really good night. Tons of people dancing and drinking, and saw a lot of friends, so it was just a really fun time. And with Jiho, he was feeling a little awkward when it was just us 2. Same with me, I was super awkward, and I mean, technically that was probably one of my first real dates. And so he was a little happy that my friend came back, because then it didn't put all the pressure on him to try to communicate all the time with me. Then we can just talk with us 3. But yeah, so that was how our first meeting went. And I mean, I'm kind of embarrassed to say this, but I kind of got a little drunk that night. So my foreigner friend and Jiho had to help me go to the hotel, grab my stuff, and then my foreigner friend and I got in the taxi to the bus terminal and said our goodbyes to Jiho there. So maybe not the best first impression to Jiho, but I mean, look at us now. But yeah, it was our first meeting. So again, that was May 2nd. And then we had Jiho and I had continued to message again all day, every day. And the next big thing that happened was kind of surprise to me, but on May 4th, he asked if we could be in a relationship, if I would be his girlfriend, he would be my boyfriend, that kind of thing. Again, that was 2 days after meeting, so for me, from what I know in America, that is super fast. After meeting for the first time and 2 days later asking to be in a relationship. So to me, I was a little shocked about how fast it was going. But I talked with some other foreigners here who have been in relationships with Korean men, and they said similar things that happened to them. It's quite quick to get into a relationship here. So obviously I said yes. And then our next big thing was the following day, May 5th, was our first actual date. I don't know how else to say it, boyfriend and girlfriend. Kind of sounds juvenile when I say it like that, but I mean, that's what we are and what we were. So yeah, May 5th was our second meeting and our first date, and so this was our first time just one-on-one, no friends involved, so it was a little nerve-wracking at first, but we watched a movie in the theater called La La Land. It was replaying in the theaters at that time, so we watched that. We also, I think from my memory, I should have wrote this down, but I'm pretty sure after the movie, we went to the board game cafe that we went to previously, because we both like to play board games. And then afterwards, we went to a curry restaurant nearby. And then I believe after that, he actually lost his phone. So we retraced our steps and he had left it at the board game cafe. So luckily they had it there. But yeah, so after that we just walked around. We did the first step of holding hands and linking arms. So that happened on our first date, and yeah, we just walked around for a couple hours just talking, getting to know each other more. And then I went back to Mokpo. So that was our first date. So again, our first message was April 6th. Our first date was May 5th. So like a month later. Again, to me, that was super fast. But no complaints here. And so the next big thing I would have to say would be when I met his parents and his sister. Kind of like, I was expecting to meet his sister, but I was not expecting to meet his parents. So that was kind of a shock and a very awkward situation for me. I had not prepared anything. Like, my mental place was not correct, and I didn't prepare like any kind of phrases or sentences to say. So I was just like, mind blown. I don't know what to say. So this is how it went. On May 23rd, I went to Gwangju and I wanted to meet his two cats he has, because he also has two cats. They're both boys as well, so that was interesting. So I really wanted to see them, and so I went to his house. So that's why I was expecting to meet his sister, because his sister lives in the Gwangju house. So I was not too nervous about that. And side note, his sister is also the same age as my younger sister. So that was interesting. But yeah, so I met his mom and his sister that night. First I met his sister, and then we went out to go eat, just Jiho and I, and we came back, and surprise, his mom was there. And surprise, she didn't know I existed yet. So she didn't even know Jiho was in a relationship at the time. So it was just a shock for her, a shock for me, a shock for everyone involved. But she was super, super nice, super kind. She asked some basic questions like, what's my name, what am I doing in Korea, like my occupation, how old am I, where I'm from, and I was able to answer those questions pretty easily with my little baby Korean. But then, like, after that, it was a little awkward because obviously we were both not expecting this situation to occur. But yeah, so that went somewhat smoothly. So I met his mom, his sister on May 23rd, and then I met his father on May 24th, and had a very short time meeting him, but from the short time that we were meeting, I saw that he was such a nice and kind and happy guy. So I think next time meeting will go very well, hopefully, but which may be occurring this month. I might be meeting his parents again, and even maybe his grandparents this time, so nervous. Anyways, back to this catching up with the relationship. But yeah, so I met his parents and his sister May 23rd, May 24th, and then May 29th, 30th, he met my mom and my stepdad through FaceTiming on Messenger. So he was able to meet my side of the family, and I was able to meet his side of the family, and both sides seemed pretty happy with each other, I guess. And the last big thing that's coming up, actually, August 11th will be our 100 days celebration anniversary of relationship, because here in Korea they like to go off of 100 days together, 200 days, 300 days, those kind of things, and then 1 year and everything like that, as anniversaries, which is different from in the States. I believe maybe you can, honestly, I've never been in a relationship before, so from my knowledge, I believe in the States it's kind of like 6 months maybe anniversary in a year, and then 6 months in a year continuously, something along those lines possibly. If I'm not right, please go ahead and inform me down below, because again, I have no like experience. There you go. I was like, what English word is this? But yeah, so that's us caught up, our big achievements, milestones in our relationship. Hopefully my next video I'll be able to record with Jiho, to do a more of a introducing or more about him kind of video, so you guys have a better understanding of who he is as a person, other than my previous video where there's just little clips. But yeah, so that's everything so far, our big milestones, like I said, in our relationship, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions related to what I've discussed in this video, like Korean anniversaries, military stuff I covered, anything like that, you can go ahead and put those down below as well. And any questions you want me to ask Jiho or answer in our next video, where I'm gonna be with him, please go ahead and put those down below as well. But yeah, so if you like this video, please put a thumbs up. If you did not, you can go ahead and put a thumbs down. My mind is blanking. What am I saying? Oh, if you haven't already, please subscribe. And if you want to be notified whenever I do upload a video, which is once a week, then please click the bell button down below as well. So please have a great, happy, safe, and healthy day. Bye bye.